Spoke to somebody called Ronald Skelton who runs a really amazing podcast, and I don't know if the podcast will be out, but the biggest idea that he got when raising tens of millions of dollars from investors was split in two parts, and I'm going to go through it in this video. It's a really quick video. The first thing was when he reached out to investors, he went to investors who were already at courses teaching people how to become investors. And then halfway through the course, like it's like an online program or something, what he would do, he would then court those investors. I think he would sign up as a member or something, or something. You can watch the podcast later on in the channel. But basically he would sign somebody up, or you work with the people, and he would send and pitch out his deals to people who were part of that course. And by doing that, that was a really nice way to kind of talk to people who are more malleable, who are willing to invest. And he got, hundreds of thousands of dollars wired compliantly. So that's one way. And another thing is you want to make sure you find the investors before you find a deal. Because it's really critical because if you get a deal under contract, so if you sign an agreement with a company saying that you're going to buy them or a piece of real estate, 99% of the time, you only have like 30 to 90 days to do that. So to do that, you have to make sure that you can actually fund the deal, because you can get a lender that can lend you like 50% or maybe 75% of the value of the business or the real estate. But it's really hard to find a down payment if you can't afford it. So in other words, you want to buy a $10 million piece of real estate, apartment, something, right? You get 75% from a lender, so you need to raise 2.5 million. You have 1 million that you're able to invest, or let's say you actually have just 100,000 to make it even harder. You have to raise the other 2.4 million to buy that business. So yeah, to do that, that's pretty tough. So instead of being stuck in that 30-day period, just talk to investors compliantly before you get a deal under contract, so you'll be able to do that. Either do that or try to acquire a piece of real estate that doesn't have to be under contract for that long, like land. It could be under contract for 1 year. So in either case, make sure you do that. And then the last thing is you want to make sure, this is a bonus, you want to make sure that you find, you know what your track record is. I spoke to somebody in Vancouver, Canada, who raised over $500 million. He raised that money buying businesses. But then he wanted to start buying real estate, raising money to buy real estate with other people's money, right? So in doing that, what happened is he said that I need to do it one deal at a time, because there are two ways of usually buying businesses and buying real estate in a nutshell. Either you can do it one at a time, like one apartment, one house, one piece of land at a time, or you can raise the money to buy multiple at the same time, in a nutshell, if I'm really to summarize. So he wasn't able to raise money to buy multiple pieces of real estate at a time because he had no track record for doing that. He did have it, however, in buying businesses. So I found it very interesting that even somebody who raised $500 million, wasn't able to get success by creating a fund to buy multiple deals at once. So my point at the end of the day is just make sure you buy one business or one piece of real estate at a time when you're just starting out. That's what everyone recommends. The exceptions of the rule are if you need to raise money to buy deals that go off the property too quickly, such as doing multiple fix and flips or doing foreclosed properties, or raising money to buy like publicly traded stocks that change quickly. Those are different cases. But most times you just want to do one at a time. So if you combine all these three things, then you'll be well on your way to the races. And if you want to see how these pieces integrate in your specific situation, feel free to apply to work with Raises.com personally. But other than that, just check out the YouTube, and we'll see you in the next one.